Alright, so this one might get tricky. I really don't want a copyright strike on my second video. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today, going to be looking at my R89 Jukebox from Rowe Ami. Now this jukebox was made around 1985 and I completely restored it. It really wasn't in terrible shape, but it needed some work. It was really dirty, it sat, it wasn't being used. So I was able to bring it back and I think it looks pretty darn good. So we'll take a quick look at this R89, but then also too, we're coming up on the Christmas season, holiday season. Want to get some Christmas music in there. So we'll go ahead and get some Christmas music in there. Probably won't be able to play anything because of copyright reasons. But hey, at least I'll give you a chance to take a look inside of this thing. So Rowe Ami, they were pretty popular as far as jukeboxes are concerned. The R89 was pretty cool because of the flashing sequential lights across the top and across the middle here. So as the beat of the music goes, these bars go with the beat of the music. This jukebox is pretty heavy, probably a few hundred pounds. It is on wheels, so I can roll it out. There is an on-off switch kind of in the back of the unit. There's also a volume control down there, but what I did was I actually hooked up a wall-mounted volume control. This way I don't have to worry about reaching back there to turn the volume up or down. Everything's right on the wall. The other thing about this switch that's neat is, if there's a song on there you really don't want to listen to and you want to skip it, you can always hit the red eject button, move to the next selection. So the front of this really looks like 1985 with all the little digitals, all the colors, the way the lights kind of shine through. This R89 plays 200 selections, so they're actually 45 RPM records inside of here. You get an A and you get a B side. A side was typically the better song from the band. B side was typically their less known hit, but some of the B sides are actually better than the A sides. This thing of course was used in bars, pool halls, what have you, so it did take money, and you can see the little pricing card here. There was little stickers and things that you could use to adjust as far as the price, but one song for 25 cents I guess wasn't too bad. All the coin operations would have been here, and then you have your selector here so you can make your choice of whatever record you want to listen to. Now to get inside of this thing, there's a key that comes with it, a little key latch. So all you have to do is just turn the key and the hood then pops open. There are two springs on either side, similar to like a hatchback. Now these springs are new. This is something I put on a year ago when I refurbished the unit. I do have this little extra piece here. This simply snaps on to the little strut, and it's really for safety, just to make sure that if these struts give out for whatever reason, it's not going to come down on my head. On the inside there's two tube lights. There's a smaller one up top and a longer one down at the bottom. That's what's given the backlight for the front here where the title cards and things are. There's also a small little Christmas tree bulb here that lights up where the pricing card was. This is where the coin collector or the bill collector would be. All this is actually unhooked. Not looking to collect money. I'm in my basement. So I did unhook all that just to save a little aggravation, but if I wanted to hook it back up again, I certainly could. This is the central control computer. This is the brains of the operation. This controls everything. This was actually a different unit. This wasn't the central control computer that came with this jukebox. This was something that was put on after. But I went through there and I actually resoldered all the points, made sure everything was clean. I put a new battery in there for a battery backup. So this central control computer has been completely refurbished. Now this little piece here, this is the cabinet. Inside of here is where the amplifier is. I actually upgraded the amplifier. I'll show you that in a minute. But you have some external hookups here. You could actually run extension speakers if you had a restaurant or whatever. You could run speakers that went to the corners of the room or what have you. I have three little jumpers in here. This is actually controlling that wall-mounted volume and I guess cancel button that you saw. So coming inside, this is where the amp is. There's actually two preamps in there and then the main unit. I redid all this again, resoldered everything, making sure everything's looking good. You also have your power supply. I hooked up a new power line coming in here to make sure everything was set there. And then actually right here, this is your light control. That's what actually controls the lights on the outside. So I did change out this amplifier. This amplifier is a whopping 130 watts. The original one was 125, so I'm getting a little extra out of this, but I still do have the original amplifier. And one of the things I found too was actually this sound card. And the nice thing about that sound card, I was able to hook up a external subwoofer. So I actually have a Sony powered subwoofer on the side. Just adds a little extra bass to the sound of this jukebox. One other thing that sound card allows me to do, if I want to hook up something like, I don't know, iPod, my computer, I can plug in some external jacks and I can run them right into the ports. So I guess like a lot of things made back in the 80s, this thing was definitely made to be able to be worked on. It was not hard whatsoever to get into this thing and refurb it. Plenty of room to work and really simple technology. On the inside of the jukebox there's a lever, so you press down on that. There's actually one on the other side, so you press on that lever as well, and this whole front comes down. And on the inside of the cabinet you can see the speakers. These were all changed out. These are all brand new speakers. The ones that were in there were dry rotted. Also at the bottom, hopefully that's showing up, but there are two 10-inch woofers. The only other thing I'm not able to show you that's at the bottom of the cabinet, crossover. That crossover, I put new caps on it, made sure all the soldering and everything else is good on it, and that's all been refreshed. So I'll leave the cabinet door open for a second. This way you can take a look at the mechanism. This is the main carousel unit. This will spin around, this arm will come down, actually play the record. So I'll try to do this without getting a copyright strike, but when you make your selection on the outside, you can actually see the carousel coming around, and I picked selection 169, which would be the A side for slot 69. And you'll see the arm come out, flip on the record, and just like that it's going to start playing. So with my wall mounted unit, I'm going to go ahead and press the cancel. That cancel button will then turn off the track. The arm puts the record back in the slot. At the bottom of the carousel is the mechanism control. It's actually right in there. Again, that's something else that I've cleaned up. Made sure all the solder and everything else was good on those boards. You're talking, you know, what, 40 years almost? So that solder gets old, starts to crack, and starts not to perform as well. I also made sure all the wiring was cleaned up and in good shape. Now for your title cards, real simple. It just pops down. There's two tabs on either side. Got to be careful because this plastic is getting a little old, but it's still in good shape, and that flips down. And what I do is, as I'm changing the record, I go ahead and I change the card, make sure that everything is going to match up with what I'm trying to play. Last thing you want to do is pick YMCA and Boogie Oogie Oogie comes on. On the side here there is a 3 selection toggle, and what you have is on, service, and off. The main thing I use the service selection for is when I'm trying to load some new records into the jukebox. There's also a off button. If you need to quickly turn everything off, you can go ahead and select the toggle down to turn everything off. Now I keep the manual handy because there's a lot of programming, a lot of things that this unit can do, including autoplay. So if you want to play, say, your A-sides, you can follow the prompts, select 32, which is for autoplay, and then you can select your side A, slide B. I'm not going to bore folks with all the programming on how to, but if that's something people want to see, I can certainly make a video dedicated to that. So to load this thing, it's really easy. All you have to figure out is where you want to put the record. So I'm actually going to go ahead and replace 129. Sorry, Linda Ronstadt, not a big fan. I'm going to go ahead and replace that. Put a little Elvis silver bells in there. Getting ready for the holidays. So while the jukebox is on service, I can hit this button here. This button will turn the carousel. I find my location for 29. It's going to be to the right of the number. I take out that. Here goes the Linda Ronstadt record. Go ahead and grab my Elvis. Get my Elvis into slot 29, and the record's loaded. And as I mentioned before, I want to make sure I also go through and replace the little tag here. And these tags just slide out, and the new one can slide in. Alright, so now that I have my Elvis in there, I'm going to go ahead and close up piece here. Go ahead and close the lid to the jukebox. Make sure everything clicks in place. And now we're ready to go. If I hit 129, it should start playing Elvis, although I can't play it for you because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So we'll play this instead. Well, that's about it. Figured I'd just show you a quick look at the Rowe Ami R89. I get really happy to show it off. Put a lot of work into this thing, bringing it back, making it look as good as it does. And if you have any questions about this unit or want to learn more about it, just let me know. Alright, so that's going to about do it. With Thanksgiving coming up, hope everyone has a great holiday, and we'll see you soon. Remember, it doesn't matter what you're doing, just go out there and do something.